Hey, you know what? I was just talking to my girl on the phone here, and this is going to be, I think this is going to be a really interesting topic. Kind of like the Jedi mind trick thing. This, you know what? This is like almost a part 2 to the Jedi mind trick video, because here's another Jedi mind trick ish type thing. So here's the scenario. You're kicking it with somebody, you know, you're kind of feeling them. No, scratch that. Let me start over. I'm gonna talk about me. I'm not a dater. I'm not a big dater. And when I say that I'm not a dater, I'm not meaning that I don't date people. Because people go, well, how do you get to know somebody? You had to date them. Okay. What I mean by that is that I'm not a serial dater. I'm not a dater where, you know, I'm out with John on Monday and Tom on Thursday, and then I'm going to kick it with Brian on Friday and Mike on Saturday. I don't do that. If I'm dating, I usually date one person, and you know, maybe there might be another person waiting, you know, another person also interested, or that I might be interested with or in, but usually it's no more than that. It's not, you know, I've seen people, you know, that have like 3 or 4 or 5 different dudes on the line, and that's not me. So okay, so back to me. Why is it that when you're dating someone, right, and you know, you feeling them and you think the relationship may progress to something a little bit more serious, why is it that your phone stay on blow up mode? I mean, it's like all kind of dudes coming out the woodwork, you know, want to holler at you. Oh, you know what, I just want to kick it with you, you know, and I know you got an old boy, but you know, I'm cool with that, and you know, we could just kick it and that. Why? And then as soon as, you know, you dismiss the other 2, or they don't go right, and you're not with that no more, and it's crickets. Like crickets, literally crickets. So I'm sitting here trying to figure this out, you know, and I had one guy say, well, you know, being a rebound person is not sexy. Granted, being a rebound dude is not sexy, or being a rebound chick is not sexy. Granted, I give you that. Noted. However, and I understand that just happens. That's not something you plan for. It just kind of happens. But I understand that. But what in the world would make you fall all the way back? All the way back. You know, what makes dudes fall all the way back to crickets? You know, your phone don't ring, like you got to pick it up and call somebody else just to make sure it's on. Like, did I pay T-Mobile in this mug? You know, what is the problem? What is the problem? So I'm asking, you know, I'm asking my angels, and bow, the answer came to me. Answer came to me because, you know, that wisdom I have just be flowing. Answer comes to me. Here's the answer. Here is the answer. And it's some Jedi mind trick type junk ish. Here it is. These dudes don't want to invest in you. They only want one or two things. Either they want money or they want sex. The P, right? That's it. One or two things. And if you ain't giving up money, then they want the P. So here's the thing. They don't want to invest in you. All they want is just enough to get the P off of you. So while you're in this relationship, or quote unquote relationship, with another guy or with another dude, then you don't have to commit to them like that. They don't need that kind of time from you. You don't need that kind of commitment, but they can get what they can get if you are willing to give it up. That's the whole thing. Because see, we hold the power. Come on now, let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real out there, YouTube land. Women hold the power, because if we ain't opening our, spreading our legs, you ain't getting none. That's just the bottom line. Now, the fact of the matter is, we a little bit powerless, or we render less powerful, let me put it that way, because there's so many chicks out here giving it up. And the ratio of men to women is, 3 to 10 or something like that. So, if you got 10 chicks, a hot 7 of them chicks is giving you some. So that's what renders us powerless, or less powerful. However, we hold the power. We hold the power. If every woman out here just locked it down, oh my gosh, we would change the game. We would change the game. We should start a revolution. I'm just telling you, we should start a revolution. These dudes are only the way that they are because we have them trained that way. We have them trained that way. They're trained that way because they know you can go around the corner and get some from this homegirl over here, or you can go down the block and get that from whoop de whoop over here, because if you ain't giving up none, oh surely there's 3 or 4, 5 other ones that is. So they ain't got to deal with you. So I done figured it out, like O-M to the G. Why waste your money on Steve Harvey's book? Why when you got me? Why when you got me? How many people wasted their money on that book? Think like a man, act like a woman. I wasted my money. Read the book like, when you gonna give up the goods, Steve? It ain't none in that book. All that stuff is common sense. If you got an ounce of game, if you have an ounce of game, everything in that book is common sense. Everything in that book is common sense. I mean, if you've been through anything in life. And you know what? I'm not knocking it, because there are some people out here who need that book. There's some people who need the basics. Need the one-on-one. And that's truly what it is, in my opinion. It's the one-on-one. But see, I just dropped knowledge on you right here. I just dropped knowledge. And when I dropped it on myself. Because now all these dudes gonna get cut off. Because I bet you they'll come back out the woodwork. As soon as I say that I'm kicking it with somebody else and I'm dating somebody else, all these dudes gonna come out the wood. They gonna come out the wood, because now they back on point. Okay, let's go ahead and cross that bridge now this time, if I'm willing to give it up. See, that's the thing. Back in my 20s, it wouldn't have been no problem. It wouldn't have been no big deal. Oh, okay, you want, oh, okay, oh, you too, oh, okay, in my 20s, I didn't want that. I didn't want that type of commitment. There's a time in my life where I went through a phase where the commitment thing wasn't for me. It was just, I want to live, I want to go get ballroom and hustle, that's what I want to do. I want to go to the lodge, I want to get my ballroom on. If you can ballroom, let's go. Let's go. If you can hustle, oh, let's go. That's just how, that's how it was. I didn't want all the rest. I didn't want the rest. And subsequently, I ended up in a relationship like that for 5 years, where it was just no more, no less. We wasn't going no show, we weren't going no dinner. We wasn't even really, well, no, we did kick it in daylight hours, but I mean, it was no more, no less. And, I was content with that at the time. But see, now, oh no. Halfway to 40, oh no. You need to come with something. You need to be making some type of investment, period. I mean, come on now. What are we doing? We're getting too old for that. What are we doing? We're getting too old for that. So it's like, I figured that out. Why these people, why is it crickets? Oh, okay. Because I'm available. And now it's like they can get, the full package is available, not just the part that they want, I'm on to you. That's some old Jedi mind trick if I have never seen one. Ooh, baby, that's a Jedi mind trick. That's why I said this is part 2. This is straight up part 2. And Ms. Ways, if you're watching, trust and believe, this is part 2. This is part 2. But I had to get that off my chest. I really had to get that off my chest, because it's like, for real. And this is, and it works both ways. Don't think it just works men to women. It works women to men too. That's why you have so many women chasing these married men, because they don't need anything else off of them. They don't want the time, they don't want the commitment. So they think they want the commitment, but they want that money, and they might want the sex. So for women going that way, they want the money. Coming this way, men want the sex. It's games people play. I realize that women play the same games that men play too. I realize that, but again, like I said, we can change the game. We really can change the game. We've trained, We train the men not to respect us. I truly believe that, because if you look at the number of boys that are raised without men in the household, they don't have that man, thing. They go to the streets for that, so they getting a lot of their game from a woman, and the first person they seeing them respecting is their mama, their sisters, their auntie, their grandma. So it's like they getting all that game from a woman, and that's where they learn that. That's where they learn that respect / disrespect type thing. We can change the game. We can change the game, because because they're way more sexual than we are. Well, some of us, but in general, So if we clamped it down, they would change the song and dance to rap, to rise to the occasion, to tap dance to our tune. But I just had to come on here and say that, because that was just dropped on me. And you know what? I can drop game for days. I'm from Detroit, and I don't know if anybody out there in YouTube land, I know a few of y'all may be from Detroit, but for some reason in Detroit, we just do things a little bit different. We learn things a little bit different. We view things a little bit different. And I'm not saying that to say like, oh, we the bomb or whatever, and no, we ain't gonna shoot. We might shoot you, but I'm not saying that to say like, it's creme de la creme. No, it's some Rudy Poo dog, broke down, tired Negroes in Detroit too. That's not what I'm saying. But for some reason, our mentality is different. And I only know that because I've lived in so many other different places. I've lived in Chicago. I've lived in Phoenix. I've lived in Atlanta. I've lived in now Florida. I've lived in a few different places where when I look at the men, and the women, we think a little bit differently. And so we behave differently, and there is nothing like a Detroit dude, and I think, if I could put my hands on one down here in Florida or down, over yonder, something like that, I would. But see, I'll tell y'all something about me. I'm looking for one of these Southern brothers. I had a friend in Detroit that I dated that was from North Carolina. Oh my gosh, he just changed my mind about somebody from the South. Like that Southern hospitality is like, I really appreciate that. But it's hard for them because as a Detroiter, as a Northerner, as they say, we're a little bit more standoffish. We come off a little bit curt. We're not as friendly. We ain't friendly at all. We're not friendly at all, kind of like New Yorkers. We're not friendly at all. And so it makes it difficult, on that aspect. But yeah, I could appreciate me's a Southern gentleman. I sure could. So that's all I wanted to say, and I know that I'm not Halle Berry, but I'm not a mud duck either. And my definition of a mud duck, well, no, you just figure that out. You figure out what a mud duck is. But my thing is, dudes, man, step your game up. Step y'all game up, because I'm not falling for that okie doke. I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. So step your game up, all the way up. And hey, if my phone don't ring, guess what? I don't care, because I know I paid T-Mobile. But if it doesn't, it's just, I'm waiting for that special ring. I'm waiting for that one ring-a-ling-ling, that real one, because I ain't playing games. I ain't playing games with none of y'all out here. Not playing games. So with that being said, I want y'all to know, back in December I made that video, the Faith in the Valley. Let me see. Yeah, the Faith in the Valley video, back in December, where I went through that little challenge, that situation. Oh, your girl's back. I'm back at 1. I woke up the other morning. I think I woke up Sunday or Monday. It might have been Monday. I woke up like, yeah, I'm back. I'm back at 1. So, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to go through some things when, when something ends. Sometimes it doesn't for me. I think the longest it's ever taken me was about 3 years, and you know what, it did. It took me a long time, but this time, nope, I'm back. I am back. So with that being said, YouTube, I'm out of here for tonight. I'm going to go find me something to eat. And it is what it is. I'll holla. Bye.